Welcome to The Creative Present, a show that's dedicated to expanding your creative self-expression and at the same time, getting your projects done. And I'm your host, Joshua Townsend.
Take the pressure off. Just take the pressure off because it's getting in the way of your creativity and your creative flow and all that you can bring to your projects. So there's healthy pressure and there's unhealthy pressure. And one of the most important things as an artist is to be able to distinguish between those two. Because a certain amount of pressure you need in order to create a diamond. Diamonds are nothing but carbon, right? Coal, under a lot of pressure for a long period of time. However, if you have too much pressure, all you'll do is break whatever it is inside and it never becomes the diamond. So having a sense for your own self of when, how long, and how much, frequency and duration is so important in your creative life because all of it is a development. And you're here for the long game, not the short game. So keeping a healthy amount of pressure is very instrumental. And then there's a point where it becomes a detriment. It becomes disabling. It's not conducive to your process. So let's just say, for instance, there's too much pressure and it's not allowing for your growth. It's crippling. It's getting in the way. So take the pressure off. Just take it off, let it go. And in that space, you'll create more space for breathing. You'll start to feel at ease, relaxed, because remember, one of the foundational elements that we work with is mental and physical relaxation. If you're not mentally and physically relaxed, you cannot be aware. And if you're not aware, you're not present. And if you're not present, you can't do your best possible work. So when I'm in that new space, or the space of being present, aware, mentally and physically relaxed, and I'm allowing everything to come up and out, and I have a wonderful focus of attention, and I start to develop projects. I start to write my pieces. I start to act. I start to dance. I start to create music. Whatever it is that I'm creating in that time, space, reality, whatever it is starts to bubble up and out of me. It's an overflow. And in that overflow is, in essence, my consciousness, my awareness in that state. So everything that I give birth to, everything that I'm planting, everything that I'm nurturing will have the consciousness, the awareness, the presence that I have in that moment. And that is why the project that you write today or act in or whatever it is that you're creating can only exist in that time. So in 3 or 5 or 10 years ago, you couldn't have written that project in the same way because you have grown as an artist and as a human being. In the same way, in 3, 5, 7, 10 years from today, I can't write what I'm going to write today. So it's really important to honor and respect wherever you are and to show up with the fullness of your presence, of your awareness, and to infuse it with wherever you are now, because only in the now can we do our best work with everything that's available to us in that moment. And then, of course, in years to come, it'll have a different look, a different feel, but it won't take away from what you've created today. In fact, in some ways, there'll be a greater appreciation in the same way that you can appreciate a sapling tree as opposed to a tree that's bearing fruit. Both have value. Both are appreciated. Without one, the other one cannot be. So bringing that kind of grace, that kind of awareness, that kind of thoughtfulness, that amount of kindness to the sapling, to the young tree, and not sitting there demanding from the tree that it bears fruit. It's a sapling. It can't. You wouldn't cut down a sapling because it wasn't bearing fruit. That would be crazy. It's the same thing here. There's a developmental process in the works, and it's not just for 1 or 2 years. It's for the creative process. It's for your creative process, your development, and the line blurs between the artist and the human being, and it's all about developing that sense and sensibility. So take the pressure off, give yourself some breathing space, be present, be aware, expand, bring up that state of being that puts you in that state of overflow, and let that overflow include your artistic creative work, and just let it flow wherever it flows.
Thank you for listening. If you love what you're listening to, please subscribe and then share with fellow creatives. For more, go to joshuatownsend.com.